Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to another episode of the 94 Feet Podcast. I am here.
What's up, y'all? You
here.
get on my nerves, man.
I'm here. I'm here with my brothers, Dre.
What up? What up, 94 Feet Nation? What's
I'm
good?
also here with my brother, Kesey.
What's up, good peoples?
How y'all doing? I mean, how y'all week been going?
Man, I'm here, man, so I can't complain.
Hey,
Thank
man.
God I made it another day.
Exactly. That's all you really can do.
You know me. Life is good, man, so I can't complain. No complaints. I'm good.
Oh, that's good. It's good to know.
Yeah, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I actually had a kind of rough week, but
Yeah.
on some personal stuff, but this is not the time or the place. Anyways.
Well, did you get the cool grace? Did you get the cool grace?
Well, that face tells you right there. If he
No. Because he no, Keith.
They look nice with that Dallas hat.
Let me tell you something. No, Keith. Because he know firsthand I didn't get him.
But we're talking to TV America, man.
They don't even know that.
Yeah, we do. What the past couple of weeks we had a personal touch. We need a personal touch again. Did you get the cool grace?
You know what? No, I didn't. I did not get the cool grades. And that's fine. You know, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Just like friends.
Wow,
and as fast as you can gain them, as fast as you can lose them. I don't care how long you've been knowing them.
That's not a threat to me.
That's hey, brother. Nobody throwing threats out there. We're just talking facts.
Maybe that's for that other podcast you host.
You know, if you gotta lose a friend, you gotta lose a friend.
So, Kesey, what are you doing on January 3rd?
I know I'll be sitting.
You know where you be sitting?
Tone, a free ticket just came up since I've been fired as a friend here. So,
well, first of all, Dre, hey, I ain't never been back down. I ain't never been back down. If that's what I got to do to lose a friend, that's what I got to do to lose a friend.
Well, I
went down there once. Eventually, I'll get down there again. All you need to do is experience it one time.
True. Nah.
I call Keys to get them tacos. Get them tacos. I'm gonna hit your hand as soon as you leave the Pfizer Forum.
I did get the cool grace. Keys, did you get the cool grace?
Not yet. Hopefully, at some point, you know.
You know, cool grays, y'all came out maybe 20 years ago when we wanted them.
And I didn't get them then either.
I didn't get them then either because there was like a stampede at Capitol Court. I don't know if y'all remember Capitol Court. But it was like a stampede, man. So, you know.
I don't think many of our listeners know what Capitol Court was, you know.
For real? Zeke,
know.
do you remember Capitol Court?
Of course I remember Capitol Court.
Yeah, he got beat up there all the time.
That's not why I remember Capitol Court.
That's when we hang real tough.
No, I remember Capitol Court for other reasons, but
but no, for real. Do you remember when the Cool Grays first came out and people were fighting and stumping on them?
Nothing changed.
Hold on.
Seriously?
Listen, you can't bring up Capitol Court to him. Because it brings back flashbacks.
Of what?
You forgot he went to school right next door to there?
We went to school together. We went to school together.
He was there too?
Yeah, we went to Marshall.
God.
When they ramsacked?
They raided foxes. Was it foxes?
They was foxes?
Target?
No, not Target.
Target was gone by then?
Target was gone by then. It was a couple, it was some hood stores, and they ran through there. Me and Dre went to the same school. We was there.
Viaggio's, I think it was called, maybe? Viaggio's, but
Viaggio's.
Oh man, but those cool grays got him. I'm just saying, you know. Sorry, Zeke. They are for sale. Go ahead, bro. That is a long clap. Press stop.
You think we're gonna press stop?
I don't really care.
You and I both know him.
Right. We do.
Can we now get back to the NBA
Absolutely. We can get back to the NBA discussion. Go ahead, sir.
You doing the injury report? Go ahead.
I was waiting on your permission. May I speak, sir?
You may.
Injury report, y'all. Coming in today, we literally just found out less than an hour ago that most of the Chicago Bulls are in COVID protocol. So that means the Chicago Bulls, for at least 10 to 14 days, and I'm looking for that clip, will be without the following players: Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Kobe White, Derrick Jones Jr., Troy Brown Jr., Javonte Green, Matt Thomas, Stanley Johnson, and I'm not going to do it to myself.
Why not?
I'm going to do it to myself.
No. He on there.
Ayo Dosunmu. So, and according to the league rules, you have to have a minimum of 8 players to play.
Mm-hmm.
So this currently puts the Chicago Bulls out of contention to play any games. So like Kesey said, unless they call players from the D League, which is not that easy to do because you have to put someone on injured reserve to have those players to your team.
But these players are unavailable. It's just a phone call. That's why we have D League players.
That's true. That's
G
true.
League. It's G League, but
that's
G
true.
League players.
So the Bulls are heavily injured. Also, the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, ankle out Sunday, day to day. Lakers, Anthony Davis, surprise, surprise. He's out day to day with a knee injury. Milwaukee Bucks, Wes Matthews is in COVID-19 protocol. George Hill from the Milwaukee Bucks is out with a knee injury. He's listed as day to day. Timberwolves, D'Angelo Russell is out with an ankle injury. He's hurt every season. The New York Knicks, Obi Toppin is out with COVID-19, as out 1 to 2 weeks. Portland Trail Blazers, CJ McCollum, get better soon. Thank God for doctors for catching this kind of stuff. But he has a collapsed lung, and he is out indefinitely. My mother had a collapsed lung, and they kept her in the hospital for over a month. So that's serious business. So get well soon to all the players that's on the injured list right now, because there's plenty.
All right. For the shoot around, I got a couple of topics that, well, not more than a couple, but some topics we want to talk about that's going around in the NBA. First, want to start off. Isaiah Thomas is seeking an NBA comeback via the G League Showcase. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, what is the G League Showcase? So the G League Showcase, real quick, is it's an event that marks the return of the NBA G League Premium in-season NBA scouting opportunity in Vegas. So it's pretty much a span of like 4 days where all 30 teams send out the scouts and they're just kind of playing basketball. This opportunity for guys who used to be in the league, who are trying to get in the league back again to display their skills. So my question is for you two. Does Isaiah make it to an NBA team? Isaiah Thomas make it to an NBA team?
I mean,
because you really don't like Isaiah Thomas.
I didn't say I didn't like Isaiah. I never said that.
It just sounded like you didn't. Well, last time, every time we talk about him,
my only issue is with Isaiah is I know Isaiah can put up buckets.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for sure. But who can he guard at that position nowadays?
I mean, I think he has proven himself over time. Like there have been different occasions where he has proven himself.
But he's not that same young dude like he was back then. And that didn't have those type of injuries that he had. He had some rough injuries.
I know, and I think that with him even having these rough injuries, I don't think there has been a decline, because nowadays teams don't have to give you a guaranteed contract. So every week here we do an injury report about guys who are even having like COVID protocol or just are getting injured and stuff like that. So a guy that has the type of production Isaiah Thomas can produce, I think that he deserves a chance to come along in the league.
But I'm 100% sure he's looking for a guaranteed contract. He ain't looking for no.
I think he'll take whatever he can get.
Nah,
Boogie took a non-guaranteed contract. I mean, if you come across a team, I mean, especially now with the NBA, I think it's even worse than it has ever been before, because so many guys who are skilled don't really get the opportunity to showcase their skills and stuff like that. So a guy like Isaiah Thomas, I think he's been on the league for about 4 years now. I think, like, for instance, the Houston Rockets situation, they could use a scorer. The Grizzlies,
but they got John Wall, right? Right? Ain't that what you said?
That is true. I did say that. Or the New York Knicks, they're in a slump right now. They could use Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, Tone. You don't want him? All right, okay. Y'all missed the playoffs.
The Knicks don't want no parts of John. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I get that. But so I think somebody like Isaiah Thomas I think he deserves this opportunity. I just don't understand why he hasn't got it. Dre, do you have an opinion on this?
For one, don't forget he is undersized.
Yeah, that's true.
And for two, he has never been an elite defender. And in this league, if you're not an elite defender right now, you will get lit up.
I mean, that's
Just
true.
Imagine Isaiah Thomas having to guard Steph Curry. How many do you think Steph will have that game?
69.
None against Isaiah, but I'm just saying though, like you got to be elite.
So Isaiah Thomas, man, I feel bad for him because I think the NBA kind of did him bogus, man. I mean, he literally he put the Boston Celtics back on the map. He suffered the loss of his sister, came and played that game and scored big for the NBA, and he just got shuffled around after they traded him. Like QC said, he is undersized, but he can score when given the opportunity. I guess, some of the teams you named, you said like Houston. What would Houston do with him? Why would he want to play for Houston? Unless he's broken, needs a check. If I'm Isaiah Thomas, if I want to come back, I want to come back to a contending team or a playoff team to at least try to make my final run worth something.
I think if you take that approach, you're being greedy. Not greedy, you're being arrogant.
Well, I don't think it's so much arrogant. I think it's, if I'm going to come back to the league, am I coming back? So let's say he does come back. What does he have? 2 more years? Maybe 3? Because he's been out the league for a long time. He had somewhat of a semi-long season before they started blackballing him. I would like to see him close his career out similar to how they did Carmelo Anthony. They tried to blackball him, and he came back and showed the world that he can still play this game. I hope Isaiah Thomas gets a chance to do it, but I don't know if he will. So, do your best. Go play overseas maybe and show the NBA why they are missing you. But in some circles, people don't feel like Isaiah Thomas is a difference maker. So people like the Bucks or people like some of these more elite teams, or like Kesey likes to say, why are we so on top of Isaiah Thomas? Why is it such a big deal that he comes back? I mean, if he's not playing in the NBA for a reason, I don't know what that reason is, and I would like to see him get a chance to tell his story, but he's not playing for a reason.
I'm going to tell you exactly why.
Okay.
Because there are so many young players coming up now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to take that risk on somebody at his age and the type of injuries and undersized and not an elite defender, or would you rather take a young player that you can stand a chance of developing into somebody who you might actually be able to keep for another 5 to 10 years? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like the dudes over there in Houston. That's why John Wall ain't playing, right?
Yeah, they want him.
They want
their
young player. They want their young players to develop into who they want them to be. And Isaiah coming off the bench would do him no good right now.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing at all. So
okay, all right. Well, moving on. The Indiana Pacers are starting to rebuild. They're open for trade talks for I'm gonna tear these names up.
Sabonis,
Carlos Leviton,
Carlos LeVert,
whatever. Sabonis and Turner, Miles Turner.
Wait, where'd you get liver from?
Oh, you just messed the name up, and you gonna get on me?
Man, I mess up a name once every blue moon.
You
mess up regular words.
Did he say liver?
He did. He
liver.
said liver.
I said lever. Leverton.
Carlos LeVert.
Be like that. Anyways,
go ahead.
What's up?
I was gonna just go start on the topic, but go ahead.
Go ahead. That's what you're here for.
Small market teams should stop embracing the concept rebuilding because it takes forever. Okay, if you are the Indiana Pacers and you embrace rebuilding, if I'm the owner, I'm firing the GM, I'm firing the coach, I'm firing the president, because Sabonis, and I'm not saying he's a superstar, but Sabonis is a once-in-a-lifetime player for a franchise like that.
Do you think he's a super? So you just say he's not a superstar?
I don't think he's a superstar, but for a small market team, that's the best they're going to get. Who's packing their packs to run to Indiana?
I mean,
and hold up. Sabonis can be a walking double-double. He's an all-star. He's a prolific scorer. He can play defense. So build around him through the draft or through some role players. But when you say rebuilding, you make it seem like you have a chance. The Bucks have been rebuilding. We are in our 30s now. The Bucks have been rebuilding our entire lives. And we finally got it right in our 30s.
They have not been rebuilding that long, man. Come on now.
Man, the Bucks have been rebuilding forever, and you need to quit all that lying.
Yeah, we've been struggling since we lost. since we lost Big Dog and Ray and them.
We had one good season, and that was the double nickel year with Brandon Jennings when Andrew Bogie got hurt. That was our only good season. Thankfully, those times are past us. But think about how terrible that was. How boring those games were. I remember sitting in the Bucks game playing Temple Run on my phone because we was getting blown out by the Hornets by almost 40 points.
Do you remember when we had Gary Payton?
I do. That was back in 2000 when we went to the finals that they wanted the Lakers to win, or 2001 when they cheated us for Allen Iverson and Kobe. We'll never forget that. So I say that to say small market teams have to be careful throwing around the word rebuilding because it doesn't work and it takes too long to be competitive. Houston just rebuilt, and they're terrible to watch. OKC is rebuilding. They're exciting, but
They've
it's
been
going.
rebuilding for about 5-6 years.
They
now.
have, and look how long it takes. If you're talking about, that's a nice group of core players, right? That we just mentioned. Miles Turner, he's off and on. So if you want to get rid of him, I'd be okay with that.
But Miles Turner's been leading the league in blocks for like
He's
5
leading the
years
league
straight.
in blocks, but he'll score 4 points, have 3 rebounds for 3 games, and then he'll have a double-double.
But you got Careless LeVert who takes. I'm not even gonna tell you the type of shots he takes. You got to watch him play.
I know he
watched
takes
him
some
play.
crazy shots.
He takes some crazy shots. I guess the interesting part about this is because, like you just said, Dre, the Indiana Pacers have a decent team. They don't have any superstars, but they have a nice collection of really good players. Sabonis, Miles, like these guys aren't like superstars, but they're guys who can, I want to say one player away.
Yeah.
But you can say like one player away. Like a team like that is kind of like the New York Knicks, where at first when you look at the roster, like, okay, I don't see much here. But once you get these guys together and the chemistry is there, they can do some things like they did last year.
But Indiana also has to realize that the players they brought in have been hurt a lot. So that's
probably that's their biggest thing.
That's what's been killing them. Brogdon is out every other game. Like he'll play a game and
Man.
then he'll mystery.
He has not been the same since he left us.
And then you know they had high hopes on Victor Oladipo, and then what happened to him? He
traded him to Miami, right?
He got hurt though.
He was hurt. He
got hurt first, and he was just never the same after he got hurt. And then look where he at now.
Miami, right?
I don't think he's in Miami now.
He's still hurt. He's on injured reserve.
But so would you guys? I mean, I guess the question is it better to rebuild, or is it better just to kind of keep this team together as is?
Keep it together, because
I think rebuilding days are over.
Me too.
I think it's more of just finding you a key guy and just
build around him.
Trying to get better around him.
Build around him, because right now, the last of from what I've seen, and granted I haven't watched a lot, the last of the superstar eras is winding down.
You can say that.
The final superstars left in the game of the NBA are the Splash Brothers, obviously KD, Giannis, LeBron. You probably can't even give me 10 superstars in the NBA right now.
They're there.
You can?
They're there. It's just that I see what you're saying.
You telling me it's not 10 superstars in the league?
No,
right
it's
now?
10 superstars in the league right now. What I'm saying, I think what Dre is saying, the elite. The elite of the elite is winding down. You do have these younger superstars who are coming into play, but those guys aren't consistent as you would say a LeBron James, you would say as a KD, you would say as Stephen Curry. Right. They're on their last end of their careers.
They are.
So when you have these guys like Luka, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Giannis is in that class too, just because he hasn't even hit 30 yet. So when you're talking about these young superstars, the guys who are at this point, like the Los Angeles Lakers, they're dwindling down. They're on their last look of their career. And I think when you talk about, that's why, to me, like the whole rebuilding thing, I don't think you need, like a team like Indiana, you don't rebuild it.
No.
You guys have a core. The core isn't necessarily working out the way you want it to, but it's still working out because Indiana is still in this thing. They may not be right now, but they do eventually get it together every season. That's why last year they fired their coach, because you had the talent. And it's one of those things where I don't know, You know, we're not at practice. We're not inside those huddles. But I don't see the problem with kind of keeping this team together unless there's something going on internally.
Right. And to your point, I mean, even let's look at Giannis. Giannis is in his 9th season.
Yeah.
He's in his 9th season. And so to back to what I was saying, you said there's 10 superstars in the NBA. There's 10 great players. But what I'm saying is right now we are seeing the dying breed of the superstar era. Right, you got KD, you got Steph, you got Giannis, you got Bron will always be a superstar. Who else? Who else is a superstar carrying a ball club right now?
Carrying a ball club.
Carrying a ball club. Giannis, KD,
Dame.
The Portland has sucked forever. He might be a superstar, but he's not carrying a ball club. Next.
Who else is carrying a ball club? Without Dame,
when I say carrying a ball club, you're playing for something. Indiana,
they be in the playoffs.
Who?
Portland.
Every now and then.
Every now and again.
To get a first round bounce.
Every year they're in the playoffs.
To get a first round bounce.
Some help. He's carrying that team to the playoffs. He needs that second dude to get him over.
So the point I'm making is fine. Okay, there might be 15 superstars left. The point I'm making is that Indiana, Sabonis is it's going to cost a lot to trade him if you want, because they're not just going to give him up for anything. If you have players that like the situation, and it seems like these 3 players like being in Indiana, build around them, because small markets don't get lucky often. When's the last time a small market team won the championship besides the Bucks?
When's the last time a player wanted to go to Indiana, though?
That's the point I'm making. If you have these players there, do something with them. The Bucks, if you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, the way we won a title, no matter what people are saying, the Bucks really was a team that we built through the draft or through free agency. The only trade we made was for PJ Tucker and Chris Middleton.
Holiday,
right?
Holiday.
And Holiday. You're right. And Holiday.
Kind of like how Golden State Warriors did.
The Golden State built through the draft. They built through the draft.
We built our team through the draft.
So that's the point I'm making. The Bucks brought talent around Giannis to this small market. So if Indy, instead of rebuilding, bring talent around your young star in Sabonis.
But who do you bring in?
I mean, there's teams that want to trade players all the time.
But who are they going to give up? Because don't nobody want Brogdon because he play every 6 games.
We didn't think that. I looked at some social posts. We didn't think that anyone would want to come to Milwaukee.
Nobody did. I ain't gonna say nobody did.
We didn't think anyone wanted to come. PJ came half a season, but he came. Holiday came. Thank God he did, because Bledsoe, we see what he's doing over there in Clipperland.
But you can tell Drew Holiday has that mild manner mentality. Like he's not looking for the big city.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Like when Anthony Davis, when Giannis is like, hey, I would like to play with LeBron James. I would like to play with Anthony Davis, but they got to come here. Wasn't nobody budging. And every year during free agency, we don't get the big names. We get the guys who are.
We get the role players.
We either A, get role players, or we get B, we get the guys who are ending their career.
But does that make sense why Giannis says he might not be here forever?
Of course it does.
Of course it does. I mean,
because if he don't get some players here, because I mean, Drew Holiday and them is good, but like, how long will this team be as good as they are?
For the next 4 or 5 years. But that's a whole nother conversation.
But to bring it back to the Pacers might I'm not calling him Giannis, because I know y'all like to hear what y'all want to hear. The Pacers have a star in Sabonis. Sabonis is a star. He's not quite superstar.
He's not a game changer.
But he can be.
To be a star, you got to be a game changer.
But he can be.
Like, what does he do to be a game changer?
He can be.
I know he can rebound. Okay.
He can score.
It's 35 other bigs that can rebound.
He can score.
He is, you know what it is? I think Dre said this earlier. He is a good.
He's a great role player.
He's a great all-around player. He's not a role player. He's the center of that team.
You know what he is?
He's a great role player.
He's the center of the team.
He's
what his dad was. He's what his dad was.
What was his dad?
His dad wasn't like leading the team in scoring, but he was a key component to that team.
Yeah.
But he's the star of the team. Would you agree or disagree?
Come on, man.
No.
Keep it real.
Who's the star of the team in Indiana? It's not Sabonis?
No.
Who is it?
Nobody.
No, it's about.
I don't have a star.
No, if you have to break it. No,
I'm tell you how.
He was an all-star.
Hold on, listen to this though.
What?
You got 3 players that you can't consider the main person on that team. Nobody can tell you. You can't even tell.
Every team has a star.
You know who the star is. Can you look at Indiana?
Sabonis.
Can you look at Indiana and
Easy.
honestly say,
Easy.
I know who their superstar is.
Easy.
I know who
Sabonis.
their go-to man.
You're gonna have
reaching, bro.
You're
You
gonna have to
reaching.
say. You're gonna have to.
You can look at that team and say,
Yes.
You
I know
reaching.
who their go-to player is.
He's an
Yes.
all-star. That seals it right
Miles
there.
Turner, is it?
Huh?
And Miles Turner,
He's
is it?
never made the team.
I'm glad you brought that up. So Miles Turner has called out the Indiana Pacers on the trade rumors. He said it's clear that I'm not valued as anything
Marcus
more.
Smart Jr. Go ahead,
Can I
man.
finish?
Finish.
You sure?
I almost dropped that word I don't even use, man.
Well,
You always
apparently
make me
you
on
use
my
it.
character.
Well, you
I would
apparently
rather
use
say
it.
build around Miles Turner than Sabonis.
It's clear that I'm not valued as anything more than a glorified role player here. I want something more opportunities. So is Miles?
You said what? with his other friends. Go ahead.
Who, Kwame?
I should call Kwame up.
That's
Is
who we
Miles
on the
Turner
show.
is Miles Turner a glorified role player?
So let me start here. You know,
Start there.
I wish that I can appreciate the swag that some of these players have because
Confidence.
Hmm?
The confidence.
I'm going to give you Miles Turner's. I'm going to give you his stats from the past couple games, and you tell me if this is not glorified role player. On the 10th, he had a double-double, 17 and 10. Great. On the 8th, he had 22 and 4.
Okay.
On the 6th, he had 5 and 7.
All right. 5 and 7.
5 and 7.
All right. Okay.
On the 28th, he had 2 and 8.
Ooh.
On the 24th, he had 12 and 6.
Ooh.
Okay. On the 22nd, he had 12 and 10. Double-double, but low. On the 20th, he had 11 and 9. On the 19th, he had 4 and 4. So you're telling me that this is the star of Indiana with an occasional double-double where Sabonis comes and brings it every single night? Miles Turner said he's a glorified role player, except your role that you're not the leader of the team. Similar to Marcus Smart over in Boston, making very similar comments. Turner, when he's on, he's on. But if you're going to be a star of a team, you have to be more on than you are off. And he's off more than he's on.
Do you think Sabonis stealing some of his stats?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Sabonis.
Because that could be a problem too. Because a lot of players are saying Russell.
They
were
play.
saying Westbrook was doing that.
They play. They play. He plays. Miles plays center, and Sabonis plays power forward. I know what Dre's doing. I already looked it up. So for career stats, Sabonis is averaging the double-double. 18.
The whole season.
So I go last year. I'm not gonna go this year. But last year it was 20 and 12.
His only bad game in recent memory was on the 19th of November.
So Sabonis is one of these guys who over time he has put himself in a position to be that guy. Like that's why every team has that guy. Every team has that guy. Now whether we recognize him as a superstar or all-star, that's another conversation. But they do have that guy. For a long time, Giannis wasn't that guy. Just more in the recent 5 years, he's been getting better every single year.
Who was the guy before Giannis? Who was the guy?
We were kind of looking at
was it Brandon Jennings?
No, we were looking at Middleton. No,
Middleton came after.
We were looking at Jabari Parker.
Jabari Parker
to be that guy.
Sure was.
And Jabari Parker didn't pan out. So when you compare the two guys together, Miles is barely a double-double.
Barely.
And you have a guy who's averaging like 20 and 12. This year, he's averaging 18 and 12.
Every game but one.
So that's what average means.
He had 4 points.
Well, I'm just saying.
He had 4 points against the Bucks.
He did. That
So
was
what
a
does
bad game, but
one for 8.
I mean, Steph had a bad shooting night against Phoenix. What's your point?
That
That just shows you what happens when he plays against somebody with talent.
Ooh.
So seriously, do you think Miles Turner is a glorified role player? You defended him a lot, and you clearly called him the star of Indiana. Is he a glorified role player?
You can say either one of them is the star of the team, but my thing is, when you got 2 7-footers playing in the post, one of them is going to be more dominated than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no different than if you got Dwight and Anthony Davis right next to each other. One of them going to be more dominant.
Hold on a second. I want to agree with you, and that is very true because we've seen it done in past. The Twin Towers in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Only
Tim
difference
Duncan
is
took over.
Yeah, Tim Duncan was, but David Robinson was on his way out.
Thank you.
That's the difference. Because I want to agree with you. You're right. It can work. Two big guys, and it actually, unfortunately, in today's NBA, it's more. But every once in a while, both of those guys will step out and shoot the three. Yes. So again, I don't think this. I think Indiana Pacers are kind of giving up on this team, and and as far as him being a glorified role player, I understand you're confident just because you're in the league. And be honest with you, if Miles Turner hasn't been getting hurt, he would win defensive player of the year.
Because he leads in blocks.
Because he keeps getting hurt.
Yeah.
And which gives Rudy Gobert a chance to roll this thing all the way.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. His name is Rudy Gobert?
Oh.
What you thought I said?
I didn't know who you was talking about.
Oh, you gotta listen.
He armed, ain't he?
First of all,
he armed today.
Ain't he?
Somebody had their dose of jerk today. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
hole of asshole.
He said it. I mean,
I like to have a nice bowl before breakfast.
So, but for real though, let me say this about Miles Turner. If you want to be traded, just say it. You know what I'm saying? I hate
the teams brought this up first.
I get it, but
they've been putting him on the market for a minute.
If you
that player, you get sick of that too, though, won't you?
You do.
You do. But he's still not the man.
Every year for like the last 3 years.
So he's a glorified role player.
Before he started getting hurt, they was even putting him on the market.
I don't think he's a glorified role player, but to Kesey just said himself, he's a risk.
I think he is.
He's a risk. Yet he's not better than Sabonis. He's not better by a long shot. Okay? If I'm the Pacers and you had to pick between the two, I'm picking Sabonis twice on Sundays.
They say he's linked to the Lakers.
Why would he want to go there? Indiana probably doing better than them.
No, they need
What's some good dope? Pass that shit.
They need some defense. They need some defense in LA. That's why he's linked to him.
Who would they give up for him at this point?
Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan,
Probably
some draft picks.
So anybody they could just free up some salary.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Moving on, recently the Portland Trailblazers have departed ways with their GM, and departing ways with their GM. Lord, give me strength.
What? Would you finish?
So they are they departed from the GM.
Parted ways.
And so the job hasn't been officially filled yet. But for the time being, they got somebody doing the job. But this brings up the conversation about Dame again. And couple things. Dame said he wants to stay, but he also just stated he wants a 2-year extension worth 109.
Who did? Did he really?
Dame, yeah. Damian Lillard.
He's
so
on an extension for 2 more years.
Yeah, 2 more years, 109 million.
That's the only way I would stay too.
And he wants to stay. And he swears he wants to stay. He wants to end his career here. This is interesting. Well, this is always interesting because everybody agrees Dame needs to get out of Portland. He's never going to win anything there. He's never going to fill a championship there. He's never going to get the places he wants to go in Portland. And Reggie Miller did an interview like a little while ago, and he was talking about how they talked about him going to Indiana when he had the opportunity. He said, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't see myself putting on the green jersey because instead of Ray Allen, they were recruiting Reggie Miller. So I couldn't see myself putting on the uniform and playing Indiana, a place where I built a career at, and to get a championship, just to win a ring. And I think we all can agree that Dame should leave, but how do we is that necessarily a good thing? Because this guy is putting himself out there as far as putting himself in a position to be, to stay with his team. So is it really a good thing? Is it a good thing that he wants to stay, or is it a good thing, or should he just leave? Because we always talk about guys like Kevin Durant who are ring chasing. We talk about, it was a little discussion about Anthony Davis when he went to LA because he was ring chasing, but then we don't give enough props to the guys who want to stay.
So let me start here. Dame Lillard is old. He's making 39 this season, 42 the following season,
Mm-hmm.
45, and then 48. And he wants a 2-year extension. Other than being explosive, and Dame is a baller, I would take him on the Bucks. Hear me. But what has he done for that franchise? And don't give me the he don't have nobody. Let me finish before you go in.
I didn't say nothing.
Okay, CJ McCollum was there. Carmelo was there.
You don't have nobody.
That's low. I'm not saying he had a team that could be competitive, but at one point do we say that Dame doesn't have the ability to make other players better? Y'all do that to LeBron. Y'all do that. Hold up. Y'all do that to Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
Y'all say Chris Paul is makes players better.
He's a point guard. It's his job.
What is Dame?
Dame is a shooting point. He's like Steph Curry.
But what is his role? His role
guard.
is the point guard, and he doesn't make players better, does he?
Why is he a point guard, though?
Does he make players better, yes or no?
No.
Okay.
He don't play defense.
Okay. So Dame Lillard is an offensive superstar.
Yeah.
He's slow on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Eh?
I'll let that ride because he doesn't play defense.
Okay. The Portland Trail Blazers, if he wanted to walk, he would have walked.
He should have walked a long time ago.
I'm going to give Dame credit for being a business savvy man because he knows he can make the most money with Portland.
No.
Yes, he can. He can because they own bird rights. He absolutely can make the most money with Portland.
Yeah.
Hold up. Hear me out.
Go ahead.
He can make the most money with Portland, and then he can be traded down the line for this same heavy contract. But think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a team right now,
Mm-hmm.
Dame Lillard, who we called a liability on defense,
Mm-hmm.
are you taking this $200 million contract if they give him a 2-year extension?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I like Dame. I would sign him, but to me, if Dame wants to leave Portland, he would have left. I don't think he wants out of Portland.
and you think it's a financial.
I think it's a financial thing, bro. 42, 45, 48, and when they give him this 2-year extension, he'll be over $200 million in 5 years.
Well,
why wouldn't you? You feel me? Why wouldn't you make John Wall kind of money? Why wouldn't you? Because Dame, who also has had somewhat of a long career, Dame is getting up there in basketball age too.
That's
he's getting up there.
That's everyone's point. Like he's getting up there with the 30s, and
so,
it's about to be ugly.
So I say that to say, go and get your money, and then ride off into the sunset like everybody else did, and join one of these old bad teams to try to win a championship. Get your money, Dame, because you're forgetting now, right? Dame's a superstar, but in the game of championships, in Dame's era of basketball, Dame will be the Clyde Drexler to the Michael Jordan because it will always be LeBron. It will always be Steph. It will always be KD. It will always be Clay. It will always be Giannis. It will always be Harden. It will always be Kyrie. All these players will get
Harden.
All these well, he's not a champion either. You're right. But offensively, he's way better than Dame. But
I don't know about that anymore.
Well, yeah, he's a little out of shape, and the refs don't help him anymore. But I say that to say Dame, unfortunately, in today's NBA, is just another good player. In today's NBA.
And there you have it. Not Stephen A., but it's a hot take. I honestly think that I like to congratulate Dame, first of all, for being so honorable. Because when we talk about championships and does that matter?
Not honorable, loyal. Loyal. He loyal. That ain't honorable to be loser.
No, I say both because he could have been like KD. Now when that's the first thing people talk about when you talk about KD. Well, he left, after Golden State to get a championship. Yeah. Now he's leaving New York to get a championship. Yeah. Especially because Dame is top. He's in people's top 5 as far as talking about point guards.
So my question though is, you think this is KD last season like that though?
KD
season. I don't think he's happy in Brooklyn.
KD
now that you talk about it, you think he's gonna be asking for a way out soon? Cause
I don't think
Brooklyn looking like how Portland was when they picked up Carmelo.
I don't think the difference is that with Dame and shorter guys, unfortunately, is that they can't hold a team together.
Shorter guys, huh? You like that comment, did you?
But why you gotta? I'm 6'1", man.
You what?
I wasn't Houston. I was talking to you.
Oh, really? Really?
You feeling guilty?
I mean, I am who I am, man.
Not 6'1".
6'1". Turn that around. 1'6".
So it's just a point. It's the fact that we talk about KD and these guys who leave right for ring chasing, and I don't know. I don't know what to do with Dame, to be honest with you. He obviously don't want to leave, and it's another situation where no one wants to come to Portland. It's obvious no one wants to come to Portland. Now he has put a list of players out there that he wants to kind of play with.
Wasn't Giannis on that list at one point?
Maybe, but more recently it's been Draymond Green and Ben Simmons. And speaking of Ben Simmons, and speaking of Ben Simmons, the Ben Simmons sweepstakes is starting again. It's starting to get some traction again. And the reason it's starting to get some traction again is because on Wednesday will be the official date where teams can start trading players they've acquired in this past offseason. So Philadelphia again is trying to shop Ben. Portland is one of those destinations. But they want, the thing about it is Philly wants Dame and Portland's not giving up Dame. And then they were like, we'll give you McCullough. They were like, we don't want McCullough. We want Dame. And so I guess the question for this is, do you think Ben Simmons will get traded by the deadline?
I think. Go ahead, Keith. You start.
Will Ben Simmons get traded by the deadline?
Yeah,
I doubt it.
Me too.
I pretty much.
Have you counted him out for the season?
It's going to have to be one of them deals. It's just you can't resist.
It could be a 2-3 team deal.
It has to be a 2 or 3 team deal because otherwise it's not going to happen on a team versus team deal.
Yeah. I think, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think Ben is going to sit out the whole season and not play for anybody. I think he's becoming a lot like Kyrie, where managers are afraid to touch him because every chance that Philly has given him to try to get it right, whether it be personally or professionally, he's pretty much spit in their face. Like, no, I'm not doing it. And almost every team has offered something. We've talked about this before for Ben Simmons, and it's always been no. My question for Portland, if you don't give up Dame, who are you giving up for Ben? That wouldn't even work, Dame and Ben on the same court. It wouldn't even work.
Yeah, it would.
They're both point guards. No, it wouldn't. It'd be terrible.
It would be the same thing as Golden State, because you have a guy who plays point forward, who doesn't need to shoot the ball, who likes to pass the ball, and Dame's a shooter.
That's true.
It actually would work. It would be a perfect combination.
It'd give him a $90 million useless backcourt, but okay.
You said who?
Dame and Ben Simmons.
Portland doesn't even have the assets to give up for Ben if it wasn't Dame. So I guess for me, for Ben Simmons, I hope he lands somewhere because the Philly experiment needs to end. But if I'm Portland, I'm not giving up Dame for no Ben Simmons ever.
I mean, that's one of the primary, because they're looking for, Philadelphia says we're looking for a top 25 player to replace this top once was 25 player. And I don't blame them. I just think they need to be more reasonable. And I think a 3-team trade is coming, but I don't know where. And like you said, I hope that doesn't happen, but I can see Ben Simmons sitting out the whole year. Mm-hmm. I can definitely
see it because that's what Kyrie gonna do. So I mean, especially, but here's the problem: Ben might get some wisdom because he's losing money like running water.
That's true,
and so he may be getting the itch to come back to keep them checks flowing. So I guess again, you don't trade him straight up for Dame, do you?
No, of course not. Because you
Ben for
Dame?
No.
Yeah.
No. They gotta give up a little more than that. They might have to give up Tobias too.
For Dame?
Yeah.
2 for 1?
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's even just for the money to match, because Dame making almost 50.
Almost 50, 45.
Yeah. I don't think Ben is even making 30, is he?
Ben's up there too.
Ben's making 30.
Is he at 30?
Ben has a
but Tobias had like 20-something too, almost 30.
Yeah.
So they would have to dang near give up both of them to get.
I mean, people don't, when you get the kind of players like, when you talk about players like Ben Simmons, Damian Lillard, even Tobias Harris, these guys are, teams don't mind paying that luxury tax bill if they think it's going to give them a championship. And I'm always for that. If you want to pay for it, if you want to win it, you got to pay for it.
Ben Simmons is under contract to the end of 2025. He's making 33. Then he'll make 35. Then he'll make 37. Then he'll make 40.
Yeah. So
who wants to pay that for a player who's not showing up to work?
yeah.
So
Well, we're a little over a quarter in the season, and so we've seen every team play. We've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the surprising, the not surprising. I got a couple questions for you guys. I want to kind of spit some fire, just based off what we've seen so far this season. Will the Minnesota Timberwolves make the playoffs? I'll start with you, Kesey.
Will the Minnesota Timberwolves make the playoffs?
Yes. Now they're currently in like 10th place.
Play-in tournament.
That's the play-in tournament. That's not what I asked you.
6 through 10, right?
Yeah. 7 through 10. Is it?
6
No,
through 10.
it's 7 through 10. 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Yes, you're
7,
right.
8, 9,
Yes.
I think they will eventually get in the play-in tournament, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I don't see them winning in the play-in tournament because either they're going to be playing somebody like Portland or somebody like Dallas, or it could even be the Lakers
It's definitely probably
or
gonna
the
be
Clippers.
or the Clippers. It's any team from 4 on down they can be playing against.
If you're
To
not
be
the
honest with
Suns, Warriors, or Jazz, you're playing in potential.
Yeah, you're playing potential.
I'm agree with Keith. I don't think the Timberwolves can make the playoffs. I think we'll be dope because they also have a nice young core team over there.
I like that young core.
They have a great team. Edwards and everyone else are playing some serious ball, but I don't think they're a playoff team yet. Not in a very dominant Western Conference. Crazy part is Minnesota being our neighbor. Why is Minnesota in the Western Conference anyway?
I don't know.
Border wars.
Yeah, I mean, they're right next to literally Wisconsin, Indy. You feel me? Illinois.
Yeah, they on that left side of
Cleveland. I feel it, but dude, they're like our neighbors, and they're in the Western Conference. They need to petition to come to the Eastern Conference.
Really?
Bruh, they're right next to us.
But then who do we send to the West then?
That don't need to be even, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it
What
does.
are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So that means either probably Boston or Washington got to go.
Yeah.
Both those are East Coast teams.
They're East Coast, but I mean, still Minnesota. The fact they're in a Western Conference is it never made sense to me. I know it's been like that for years.
Why don't you look it up?
But it never made sense to me.
Look it up.
So
Google
we'll do
it.
that. But you think about it, Minnesota always comes close to having, I'm not going to call it a good team, but they always come close to making noise, but the noise eventually stops.
So you're saying no?
No. Oh, easy no. Easy no.
I know you've been waiting for this question. Is Steph Curry, I want you to listen to the words I'm saying here. Is Steph Curry a unanimous lock for the MVP?
Not unanimous, but unanimous.
Unanimous.
No. I'm voting for Steph if I had a vote, but I'm not going to say it's unanimous because KD is balling out. Giannis is balling out. KD is my pick to win, but statistically, Giannis is having a better season all around. Steph has the best record.
Mm-hmm.
The team has the best record. Steph is exciting to watch, and he is having probably the best season of his career. He'll probably pass Ray Allen as the 3-point person in the next game or two.
Mm-hmm.
I think, what is it, 6 or 7 away, I think?
He's 10. No, he's 7 away. You're
Seven
right,
or
away.
something. So he'll probably be the leading 3-point shooters in NBA history by the next podcast. Steph Curry is breaking records. Steph Curry is leading his team to have the second best record in the NBA. I believe they'll finish with the best record. Steph is my pick for MVP even this early in the season, but it's not unanimous. I think the top 4 right now between Steph, Giannis, KD, and Joker are all doing something that can say, look, think twice about a unanimous pick. Unanimous means everybody voted for Steph.
I mean, he already won one. That's why the question is up there. But I feel like at first I was for it. I was like, oh yeah, he definitely he had this in lock. But then I seen him play against Philly. Then I seen him play against the Phoenix Suns.
He had a bad shooting night.
And both those teams kind of locked him up. So I don't think it'll be unanimous. So but
Anonymous.
I don't think it'd be that, but I think
To me,
the
right now,
problem is they always find a way to discredit Kevin Durant, and because of that, I think Stephen will win, but I don't know if it'll be unanimous.
to me, it should be Giannis. I don't care what nobody say. Say what you want.
The problem with
Steph is playing good, but Giannis is playing great.
the problem with Giannis is, to me, honestly, is that I think the MVP goes to somebody who's doing something special every year. Somebody who does something special for that year. Giannis is honing in on his craft. I know where I need to get my buckets from. I know where I can get my buckets from. I've expanded my range because he has that 3-pointer, and it's getting better. But I know where I can get a majority of my points from, and he does it. He does it well, and I think that's like when you talk about.
But ain't that the same thing Steph does? He knows he can get a lot of his shots from 3-point range because he don't get a lot of layups. He gets a lot of threes.
But somebody kind of put this in, kind of sum this up for me. Like, you can't do what Giannis and LeBron James do. You can't do that, or you can't practice that. Like, that is a God-given gift. Like, Giannis is a Stretch Armstrong, especially when it comes to the paint. The way he be moving and grooving through there. So, like, after you see that year after year after year after year, you're like, all right, why am I giving you this award when that's what you do? I used to say the same thing about LeBron James.
So then, what about Steph? Then he just shoot threes. Why are we giving you the award? That's all you do is shoot.
Because every time when you average like 7 or 8 3-pointers a game, when the rest of the league is averaging like, I ain't gonna say rest of the league is maybe like 5 individually, but you're averaging like 7 or 8. That's something spectacular.
And
just
he's
like
a human highlight reel.
He's shooting threes ridiculously. A lot of threes.
Yeah.
He's shooting about 15, 16 threes a game.
He can make most of them.
Okay, and Giannis is getting layups, and he can make most of them.
Steph is also good for making you fall every game.
I wouldn't say that,
What?
but I'm saying it's a difference.
It's
It's a difference between somebody scoring in the paint because they long, and it's a difference between as soon as you step against. I don't know. I doubt y'all seen it, but as soon as you step half court, he's shooting 3. You got to hold him. Did y'all see it was a little clip of it was like a skit of like soon as Steph Curry get up, you got to hold D on him because he's that good of a shooter,
and he's good for a crossover every game. He may not make you fall, but Steph handles are ridiculous. He don't get enough credit, in my opinion, for his handles. Dude, listen, Steph Curry is a game changer.
He did till Kyrie came in. Who's more overrated, the Miami Heat or the Brooklyn Nets?
Both.
Brooklyn Nets.
I was gonna say Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets.
Miami.
You think so?
Miami.
Why?
Hands down.
Why you say Miami?
Because they beatable. They very beatable.
Brooklyn is too.
Brooklyn is beatable with a.
But KD is kind of like LeBron. When he gets to the playoffs, he's a whole nother animal. Like the stuff he's doing now, he just coasting through the season, and he's still putting up buckets.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine when he going in what they call him. What's his name? Sniper what?
Oh,
Sniper Mo?
No,
Sniper.
His
Sniper
nickname
Money,
is,
right?
Is that Reefer? The Reaper?
Easy Money Sniper?
Something
Easy
like
Money Sniper. You knew his name.
Easy Money Sniper.
Yeah, something
when
like
he
that.
going Easy Money Sniper mode, he's unguardable. He's probably one of the most unguardable players on the planet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hands down. You think Steph be getting buckets?
Oh, I always
KD
he's a scoring machine.
He's on a whole nother level when it comes to getting
KD's
buckets.
a scoring machine.
No, I'm looking at y'all crazy because I literally just said that and y'all was arguing me down.
About what?
About KD.
No, we didn't.
I said KD can't be stopped.
We said he can't be stopped, but he can't win by himself either. He's playing with a half James Harden.
Well,
He's not playing with a half James Harden. He's playing with a real James Harden now.
There's no Kyrie. Literally, KD sometimes is a one-man show out there.
He definitely is a one-man show. They just lost to Cleveland. Yeah. So I'm sorry, they just lost to Houston. That's how I know that. Okay, I went with Brooklyn too. That's why I said I went with Brooklyn because y'all can't win without KD. I don't know what's going on here.
God forbid he bangs himself up or anything happens to him, it's a done deal.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be going on when you have James Harden on your team.
It should not.
Next question. Will the Cleveland Cavaliers make the playoffs?
No.
They just won 7 straight.
No. Look who they beat.
Not even
No.
I don't want to say look who they beat. I want you to look at their standings.
They are in 5th place right now. But
so
again,
make sure again, will they make the playoffs?
No, because the Sixers will get it right. The Wizards, Hornets, we hope the Celtics will get it right. The Knicks will definitely get it right. Cleveland, man, don't get too hyped. Don't get too excited.
Okay, you sure?
Don't get too excited. I'm going to say no. It's a no for me, dog. It's a no. It's a no for me. It's a no for me.
What?
I mean, because they lost to the Bucks. They lost to the Jazz.
Cleveland.
They beat
Cleveland make the playoffs?
Yeah.
No.
They're in the 5th spot right now.
They're in the 5th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long season
It
left.
is a long
and
season.
they're 5th in the East.
You still got
They you know what they're doing? They're making 2 big man work. They got their rookie and they got Jared Allen. They making it work. And then on top of that, they got
rookie ain't hit that rookie wall yet either.
who?
Every rookie hits it. That rookie wall where everything just drops.
Yeah, I get it. So both of y'all saying no.
No.
If they do, they're gonna be in a play-in tournament.
Mm.
And they might win it, get into the Atway.
Cleveland getting so good. Kevin Love starting to make appearances.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say yes. I think Cleveland will make the playoff. I think it'll be a play-in tournament, but maybe because
are they one and done if they get in?
Oh yeah, they're one and done.
They're one and done.
That's when the big boys come to play. They're one and done.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But them making it without LeBron is an accomplishment in itself. To be really honest with you, this team hasn't been good since. Yes or no?
I mean, I don't think it's an accomplishment, but hey, we'll give them a hand clap or something.
I'm sorry. When the last time they made the playoffs was with LeBron.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Of course, man. Dude, Cleveland has been a lottery team every year without LeBron.
Well, LeBron only been on like 3 years.
Exactly.
They've been a lottery team every year without him. Before the first time he left and he came back and he left again, they've been a lottery team every year.
Before he got there the first time.
As I said, they've been a lottery team every year without him.
Yeah.
How do you think they got him first?
That's what I'm saying. So the point is, Cleveland is.
They've always been a lottery team, whether LeBron or James was there or not. They've been a lottery team.
Well, when he was there, they were obviously not.
Yeah, I said.
Oh, when he wasn't there.
Yeah, when he wasn't there.
So I think they will make the playoffs. I'm optimistic.
Because wasn't LeBron James the number 1 draft pick?
Yeah, he was. Blah blah blah. We get it.
Okay, just making sure.
Who's having more of a disappointing start to their season, Luka or James Harden?
James Harden, dog.
Luka.
I would say James Harden.
James Harden, dog.
You think so?
Yeah.
James Harden was billed as he's a former MVP.
Yeah.
This
is where he wanted to be.
He bullied his way out of Houston.
He did.
He depended on that step back jump shot to get a foul.
Yeah.
Wasn't no player getting more foul calls than that man. Right? He's playing next to
one of the greatest
of all time, the best scorer arguably in NBA history, right? He should be getting it done. And the fact that James Harden is playing very average basketball is concerning to me. Luka has played injured a lot of times. He's played hurt. And he's really, you talk about Dame don't have nobody, Luka has nobody.
But it's too early in his career to be coming up with all these injuries, though.
Well, I'll say this: he's young, and he's also one of these guys who is always playing basketball, and I think that this year in particular, Jason Kidd is going to have him playing heavy minutes.
Yeah,
they asked Jason Kidd about this a little while ago, I think last week, about his, Luka admitted, hey, I need to get better with my conditioning and stuff like that. But as far as this team goes, I'm thinking the same thing that Dre be thinking, is that, man, he has no help.
None.
Like no help.
None.
Even Porzingis is one of those things where like he's there, but he's not there. He's not enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna put Luka on the bench and you can just kind of wield this team to, keep up with the game. You take Luka out, you're done by 10 in 5 minutes.
But my only question is, though, how is James Harden technically not having a good season? What makes him not have a good season?
Because we're used to him either in the top 3 of scoring, or we're used to him putting on performances as he has in the past.
Of what?
As far as him being an MVP candidate.
Right.
And because once he came to Brooklyn, we knew his stats were gonna take a hit just because it was too many balls around, and it was 3 scores. But for them to have that 1-2 punches, it should be KD, James Harden. They should be like literally running the floor with people. Like it's like just like LA, these two teams were built literally to compete for championships, compete for championships. That's it. We'll see what happens. Like even last year, we get it. He was hurt, so I'll let that ride. But this year, I expected them to come back full force, like blowing teams out. Mm-hmm. And that because that hasn't happened, I'll have to agree with Dre with like I think James Harden's probably having the worst start to the season.
So he's averaging 21 points a game.
Yeah.
8 rebounds a game.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 assists.
Mm-hmm.
He is not averaging a triple-double.
Close to a triple. I didn't say triple.
You said 10 assists.
And 8 boards.
I said 8 boards.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. I thought you said 10 boards. I'm like, what? He is not averaging a triple-double.
I said close to a triple-double. So that's still considered a bad season?
I mean, for him.
And you playing with the best scorer in the league?
And you're not helping him.
How's he not helping him? What do you want him to do?
25 or more.
So you want to put up 5 more points a game?
He should be putting up 30. He should be putting up a 30 piece every night.
I mean, while you're looking at his stats, look at his career stats.
Right. Look at what he did before.
Not even career stats. Past season. The last 3-4.
Let's look at him before he joined his best friend.
20, 24.
That was 24 was last year.
19 was 34. 18 was 36. 17 was 30. 16 was 30. 15 was 30. 14 was 27. 13 was 25. 12 was 25.
So the point is, like, James Harden is usually up there with upper, like when it comes to scoring, he's up there with the upper echelon. It's like he's up there with the greats. Like this guy can score a bucket.
But every year that he's leading the league and scoring like that, he didn't have another elite scorer with him though.
When Kyrie decided not to play this year, that was open gym for him. Like, oh, so I can shoot now. Yeah, knock it out. Take as many shots as you possibly can. Steve Nash ain't gonna stop him.
Brooklyn is not as good as they are because of who their role players are. And we have to be honest with ourselves and honest with how the situation played out over there. Harden didn't expect to have to play with all them scrubs. He only getting assists because of Kevin Durant.
And the other reason
he don't got nobody to get him the ball because Kevin Durant doesn't make anybody better. We already know that.
Right.
That's true.
But the other thing, the cosign what Zeke was saying, Kesey, they're not even listing him as a top 10 MVP candidate right now.
That's true.
And he's been in the conversation for MVP top 5 every year, even when he joined KD.
He's a little sluggish. I mean, I get that, but got to put some respect on that man's name.
I mean, we respect him, but he's just not having he's having a worse start to his season than Luka.
Not a worse start.
So
he's not having the start that y'all think he's.
So you said Luka.
I said Luka.
Right. Why Luka? And Luka has nobody.
Because Luka was MVP candidate a year coming in from his first year.
Yeah.
First year.
The last 2 years. This year too.
He's not. Not this year. This year, right now, the NBA has their ranking right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying usually, but at the beginning of the season, like Kesey said, at the start of the season, they were like, "Who's going to win MVP?" It's usually Luka, Giannis, KD. Steph is Steph is usually at the lower end of that, but his play has pushed him up.
Right. Right now, it's Steph at 1, KD 2, Giannis 3, Joke at 4, Chris Paul at 5, which is surprising.
Wow.
Rudy Gobert at 6, Trae Young at 7.
No, that's surprising.
Zach LaVine at 8.
No, that's surprising.
DeMar DeRozan at 9 and Jimmy Butler at 10.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know who comes up with how the NBA decides that, but so you talked about mid-season. I have a question for you, and it's way too early, but think about mid-season. Is Ball he won Rookie of the Year last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a candidate for most improved player?
Why would he be a candidate for most improved player?
Because, man, he is balling out right now. He is balling out.
I don't think he's most improved player. I think that I think he's gonna. I hate to say this. He's gonna make an All-Star game.
Oh yeah.
I think that.
Why you hate to say it?
I don't like. I don't like him. I don't like him on some personal stuff.
You know what I'm looking at though? What's killing Luka this year?
What?
His 3-point percentage.
It's down. It is down.
It is killing him. He's at 32%.
It's down.
That's rough.
It is rough.
It's down.
I'm looking at some of the games. 4 for 11, 3 for 9, 2 for 5, 0 for 6, 3 for 11.
He's the
1 for 8.
Yeah, he is. He's shooting. He's shooting at a high rate because he doesn't have anybody.
He has to.
But I said at some point that them shots is going to stop falling once people figure out what he likes to do.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
It's hard to stay consistent like that. That's why there's only Steph Curry and Clay who has been consistent shooters the way they have been for multiple years.
That's true.
That's one of the most difficult things to do is to shoot a consistent high rate the way that Steph shoots the ball. That's one thing I have to commend him on. That's what makes him stand out for who he is his consistency with shooting the ball from the 3-point range at that.
And speaking of shooting the ball, next question is who is going to have a better 3-point percentage at the end of the season? Anthony Davis, my bad, or Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis.
Whew, that's a hard one, man.
You think so?
Because AD threes actually go in from time to time.
Do you look at his percentage?
What's
Take
the
a look at
percentage? What's the percentage?
That's at a career
You know
low.
what? I'm gonna
19.
probably go with Giannis because Giannis don't take as many threes as AD.
That's true.
AD forgets that he's actually a center who should be playing in the paint. Giannis gonna take you to the paint and bully you in that paint.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna go with Giannis because Giannis doesn't shoot him that much because he knows his game isn't the 3-pointer. Giannis respects that he's developing a jump shot, but Giannis plays his part in the paint. He blocks. He gonna bully you. He get back on defense,
And he shoots smart.
He's getting better with that. I'm happy to see that. Giannis will kick the ball out to the open man.
Yeah,
He'll let Drew Holiday take the shot. He'll let Middleton.
Almost 30%. He just 3% under Luka right now.
yeah.
Giannis.
Yeah.
29%.
And he doesn't take that many threes per game.
And Anthony Davis is shooting 19, so that's why I asked that question.
And he shoots a lot of threes. To me, Anthony Davis shoots too many threes.
Not really.
To me, he shoots too many threes.
Anthony Davis' problem is he's not aggressive enough to be in that position anymore.
Center.
Power forward,
the go-to player over there.
Mm.
That's the reason Lakers in the situation they is. Anthony Davis is not aggressive. There's nothing about his game that says aggressive anymore. After he got that championship, he's just like
Lazy, content,
a lousy SOB.
and content.
Top 75 player. I said it was too soon.
Which team has a better chance to make it to the playoffs past the first round? The Washington Wizards or the Chicago Bulls?
Chicago Bulls.
Chicago Bulls.
Easy. Twice on Sunday. Next question.
Eastern Conference Finals?
Who?
No.
The Chicago Bulls.
No.
I mean, if you look at the East right now, that
No.
means you got to beat the Bucks or Brooklyn. So I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes.
That means you got to beat the Bucks or
I
Brooklyn.
think they can beat Brooklyn.
Who? The Bulls?
Yes.
They got not one person that
Yes.
can guard KD. Not one.
Oh, God, that would be great. Oh, God, that would be so good. Talk about, well, first of all, they fight in Chicago. They don't care where they at.
We know who will be at the games, though.
Who won't be out?
It definitely will be me.
You think he giving up them games?
I ain't giving up I ain't giving up my ticket. That ticket gonna cost you a pretty penny.
Do you tell it? No, I think Chicago can make a run, but the thing is, man, Chicago, like Miami, other than their centermen, they're small, and you need some length to go through to find in the NBA playoffs, man. They are small.
I'm saying get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They got to beat Milwaukee or Brooklyn, and I don't see them doing that.
Right now, they're in third. They're in the third position,
and they have 9 players out, so they'll probably be in 6.
And we got Dante coming back Wednesday.
Who?
Yep, Dante DiVincenzo's coming back.
Yeah,
He'll come back Wednesday.
Yep,
so that make us even deeper.
Brooklyn might have a change of heart. If they make a playoff run, they might be calling Kyrie to come back. So
they've been calling him to come back. He ain't coming back. Jesus couldn't make Kyrie come back.
Oh man.
They're gonna have to make a public
so
apology.
y'all saying no?
No.
I'm saying yes.
No. So who you got in the Eastern Conference Finals? Way too early prediction. Who you got?
Milwaukee and Chicago.
Milwaukee and Chicago.
Yeah.
Are you smoking some good? I mean, yeah.
Oh my God. Who you got?
In the And
because you said Chicago. I don't see Chicago. I think Miami is a better team than Chicago.
I think I picked Chicago because they play defense.
Miami plays defense.
Not really.
Okay.
They're more of an athletic run and gun team. Bam is very athletic, but he's not the defensive stopper that he once was.
And he's hurt.
And coming back from these injuries and stuff like that, Jimmy is kind of in and out. That's gonna hurt them.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see Miami as a big of a threat as everyone is saying. So that's why I said Chicago and the Bucks, because Brooklyn I think they're very overrated.
I think the Knicks will beat Chicago first.
No, they just blew them out.
No,
by a lot.
That just happened.
Yeah,
by a lot.
No.
So I don't know, man. I don't
Who
know
you
that.
got? Eastern Conference Finals.
I like the Bucks and Miami. Because if the Bucks and the Nets are 1 and 2, they won't play each other in the finals. They'll probably see each other in the second round.
Wow. 1 and 2. That's
1 and 2. That's true. Depending on, I would like.
And Chicago's 3 right now.
Yeah, Brooklyn and the Bucks. Because you can't bet against KD. You can't bet against KD in the early part of the playoffs. Now the
you can pray
finals,
though. You can pray. And when he stepped on that line,
that's how man.
You didn't go to church that Sunday.
Because listen, half a foot stands between us and the title.
A toenail.
Or a swollen big toe.
Exactly. Or an ashy foot.
Right.
Now, here's the one to round this these quarter season questions off. Will LeBron retire or play with his son?
I don't think LeBron will stay. If his game is on the decline and he can't be explosive LeBron, I don't think he'll do that to his legacy, because his son has still 3 more years, because he has 2 more years of high, because he's a sophomore now, right?
Junior.
He's a junior. He has 2 more years of high school. He has to play 1 year of pro anywhere before he can go to the NBA or college.
LeBron is going to make him go to college. So he has
3 to 4 years.
3 or 4 years.
So 2 years after this.
I don't know if LeBron has it in him to wait that long.
LeBron has 5 in him.
So you think LeBron can be like Tom Brady, 40 years old, playing this game at a high level?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that
he's just like he said about Steph. He's a once in a lifetime generational player as well.
Absolutely, he is.
And that's the only reason I say he can do it.
So
other than that,
my thing about that, though. Here's my thing about that, because at some point, LeBron has to consider: do I care more about playing with my son in these, let's say, scoring titles and all these records I'm breaking, or do I want to win another title? Stephen A. said LeBron James will never win another title in LA.
Window's closed.
So now you start to go into this Kobe's last 2 years, Jordan's last 2 years. I don't think you want to bring your legacy down like that just to say I played with my son.
But he's the only player who could say that.
It's a very valid point.
It might be worth the risk.
It's definitely worth the risk.
Even though he keep on getting hurt.
He doesn't have to be the GOAT LeBron James. He doesn't have to be King James anymore.
That's true.
Just to play with his son? You talking about he gonna be on the bench? Riding the pine?
But just think, even if LeBron stayed for the next, 4 years, right?
Yeah.
He still would be a starting rotation player, even if he wasn't the main man. Think about it. Any team he go to for the next 4 years, he would be guaranteed a starting spot. Tell me one team he wouldn't get a starting spot on.
I mean, they're estimating they estimate Bronny gonna go to the OKC Thunder,
right,
or Houston Rockets. I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying, because the way LeBron James take care of his body, and then to play with his son. He'd be the only player to ever do it in NBA history, I believe so. So I don't know. I'll be very interested to see how that really pans out. That has been another word fumbling, fun episode of the 94 Feet podcast. First, I'd like to thank my brothers Dre and Kesey for joining me.
Nation, thank you for tuning in as always every week, making us one of the most listened to podcasts on our network. We appreciate that.
Yes, it's been another good one, my good people. It's been a special shout out to the West Dallas Central boys over there doing their thing this year. Nephew has really been standing out this year. Shout out to you, nephew.
Yeah.
CJ. Keep doing your thing, young man. Stay humble.
Absolutely.
All right.
Listen to us on. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You already started.
Listen to us on
Surprise,
Spreakers.
surprise.
Oh, go ahead. Do it.
No,
then.
go ahead.
Do you know what it is?
You started it.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, of course I do.
Do it then.
You already started it.
Nope, I'm not doing it.
Listen to us on Spreaker, iTunes,
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcasts are played. Download, like, subscribe, comment. Get active with us on social media. Zeke tweets a lot. I'm on the Instagram a lot.
Yes, he is.
Follow us at 94 Feet Podcast. That's 94 FT Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.